Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to embark on a story-driven journey about keeping our sensitive information and our systems safe. Imagine we're on a team protecting a castle, and the systems we use every day are our most valuable treasures. We'll learn how to take care of these treasures so that only the right people can access them, and how to make sure nothing dangerous sneaks in while doing maintenance. This is all about CMMC Level 2 and NIST 800-171's maintenance domain, focusing on protecting controlled unclassified information, or CUI. So as a CUI system user, manager, or admin, why is maintenance so important? Well, system maintenance is like keeping our castle's drawbridge, locks, and gates in top shape. Poorly maintained systems are easy targets for attackers. Maintenance helps us prevent technical problems and security breaches. Think of maintenance as tuning up your car. If you ignore problems or let the wrong people work on it, you could end up stranded, or worse, in danger. System maintenance works the same way. Regular attention and the right people keep our castle safe from bad guys who want in. Let's look at the story of the printer that needed help. This is a story for all of us as CUI users, managers, and admins. It's truly a team effort, introducing the key requirements through a simple story. Let's meet Sam, who notices one day the office printer, a place where CUI is often printed, is not working. Sam calls for help. A repair technician arrives, ready to work, with a bag full of tools and a USB stick to run diagnostics. There are steps Sam and the tech each need to follow to make sure CUI stays safe. Let's see what happens next and what you should do in a similar situation. Let's look at Maintenance Requirement 3.7.1, Perform Maintenance on Organizational Systems. Step 1 is knowing when maintenance is happening. Be aware when maintenance, like troubleshooting, upgrades, or repairs, happens on CUI systems, and only allow authorized and scheduled maintenance. Whenever something like our printer or any CUI system needs work, it should be planned, tracked, and approved. Don't just let anyone walk in and start poking around. Think to yourself, would I let a stranger mess with my home computer? No, not really. So let's keep good records and always know who is working on what and when. Let's look at your role during maintenance. What should you do when someone does maintenance? Well, don't try to fix sensitive equipment yourself unless you're trained and authorized. And report any IT problems to your security or IT team or supervisor. And very important, make sure that maintenance workers are escorted, especially if they're not regular company staff. If you see maintenance happening, your job is to observe and communicate. Don't plug in strange USB sticks or log in for technicians. Make sure they're following our procedures, and never be afraid to ask questions. If something doesn't seem right, speak up. You are the castle's gatekeeper. Requirement 3.7.2 is about controlling and restricting the tools, techniques, mechanisms, and personnel during maintenance. Only safe tools and trusted people are allowed. Let's look at tools. Only clean, approved tools like company USB drives are used or should be used. Techniques, workers should follow the company's safe methods. Never take shortcuts. How about mechanisms? Always use secure procedures like logging activities while looking at maintenance. Personnel, only authorized and trained people need do the work. Imagine the tech wants to plug in their own laptop or USB drive. Would you let them? Would you question the protocol? Of course, don't let this happen without approval. Unapproved tools might carry malware. Maintenance staff should always be on our approved guest list. Follow the protocol and your official steps. Don't skip safety rules. It's not just about skill, it's about trust and procedure. Secure tools and techniques. So we want to keep the bad tools out and the bad habits out. What does this mean? Of course, we only use tools provided by or approved, and be mindful of any changes in tooling. No borrowed or personal devices should ever be used. If you see a technician using a device that you don't recognize it, take a look, report it. If a tool hasn't come from our secure arsenal or an approved tool from the technicians, it stays out. Imagine a chef in our castle kitchen. We only trust their tools if they're clean and accounted for. Letting outside tools in is like letting in poisoned apples. So let's keep our toolkit tidy and our system clean. Maintenance Requirement 3.7.3. It's all about sanitizing equipment before off-site maintenance. Step 3. Wipe away all CUI before it leaves the facility. Basically, remove or permanently delete CUI from any device before it leaves our building. Let's say our printer is broken and needs to go off-site. Before it does, we must clean it of any sensitive information. This would be like removing your personal info from a phone before you sell it. Anything that might have stored CUI, including hard drives, memory cards, etc., must be wiped or destroyed securely. This keeps our data from leaking outside. Let's look at the process for sanitizing CUI. Make sure that no secrets leave the castle. Only IT or security staff should sanitize devices. Confirm with your security team that equipment is clear before shipping out. Never take equipment with potential CUI content home with you or to another site without approval. Never try to reset or wipe something yourself unless fully trained on it. Even a tiny leftover file could put us all at risk. Always ask before shipping out or carrying away any gear that has processed CUI. Maintenance Requirement 3.7.4. Check diagnostic and test programs for malicious code. Make sure that malicious code does not end up in our diagnostic or test programs. How do we do this? Well, let's scan all diagnostic or test media, in effect USBs typically, before use. Only use authorized or clean diagnostic software. Suppose the technician's USB is not scanned. It could carry malware. Like a doctor disinfects tools before a checkup, diagnostic software must be checked for viruses before checking the health of our systems. This keeps both the system and our information safe. Let's dive a little deeper into safe usage of diagnostic tools. Always scan before you plug in. Let IT handle or scan any media before use in a CUI system. Never bring in helper files or tools from the internet or personal devices. What does this mean? If someone brings a USB stick, even with good intentions, always check it with IT before using it. One careless moment could make our entire network sick. Maintenance Requirement 3.7.5, Multi-Factor Authentication for Remote Maintenance. Step 5 is about providing strong protection for remote maintenance by way of MFA. All remote or off-site maintenance requires MFA to get in, not just a password. Remote sessions must be disconnected as soon as maintenance is over. This helps minimize our risk. Remote maintenance is like opening the castle doors for a guest. MFA is checking their ID, their secret handshake, and maybe even their face. Passwords alone won't cut it. And as soon as the work is done, we shut the door, end the maintenance or repair session right away. Let's dive a little deeper into remote access safety. It's really that important. Never share login details for remote work. Make sure that the remote maintenance uses both password and another factor. So this is our MFA. And of course, confirm with IT when the remote session is done, and then close that repair or maintenance window. Remote access is powerful, but it's very risky. If you see a maintenance session open, don't assume it's supposed to be there. Check, ask, and be assertive. Remember, this is our castle. We want to make sure we protect it any way we can. Maintenance Requirement 3.7.6, Supervise maintenance personnel without normal access. What does this mean? Step 6, we need to watch over anyone that does not have proper or full-time access. If someone who doesn't usually have access to CUI systems is doing maintenance, they must be supervised. Remember the printer repair tech? If they don't have CUI access, someone like you or another authorized staff needs to be present. Don't leave them alone. Otherwise, they could see or take things they shouldn't. Supervision is just common sense. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means we need to make sure we're diligent all the time with guests. So how do we supervise a maintenance process? Well, just make sure we're the eyes and the ears. We stay with techs who aren't cleared for CUI areas. And don't just trust, verify. Observe what's being done. Log their presence and report anything unusual. Being present means physically being there. Don't step away even for just a minute. Be friendly but attentive. It's about safety, not suspicion. Let's look at our key takeaways for maintenance. Perform maintenance on system components and perform routine and emergency maintenance on CUI systems only as needed. Let's look at an example. When a system notifies you about required updates, promptly inform IT or only apply updates provided by your organization. 2. Document maintenance activities. Record details of all maintenance performed on CUI systems. As an example, log the date, time, and purpose of any maintenance activity you perform or witness, and report any unexpected maintenance. 3. Require approvals for maintenance. Ensure that only authorized personnel perform maintenance, on CUI systems in particular. Let's look at an example. Don't let unverified individuals access your equipment. Check technician credentials and notify your security contact if you're not sure. Okay, key takeaways and user actions. Number 4, supervise non-organizational personnel during maintenance. Escort or monitor external vendors or contractors during system maintenance. An example would be to accompany an external technician at all times. And, of course, if you're assigned to do that, someone should be. and prevent unsupervised access to systems, particularly CUI systems. 5. Check tools for unauthorized software or code. This becomes very important and a big point of vulnerability. Inspect maintenance tools for malicious or unauthorized software before use. This may be your job as a CUI user, if that's your role, or typically an IT or manager's role. For example, report if a technician wants to connect an unfamiliar USB drive, or if you notice unusual system behavior after maintenance. 6. Restrict remote maintenance activities. So that means control and monitor remote maintenance. Only allow secure remote access, nothing unauthorized. So, as an example, we're only going to allow remote access when it's authorized. Don't approve remote access sessions unless instructed or supervised by IT. Thank you for your attention to this important maintenance domain. We'll pause here for any questions or comments you may have. Or, of course, you can contact me at either of the emails below.